Unfortunately, work-related injuries happen every day. Whether you work in a kitchen or in an office or a construction site, workers' compensation isn't something you think about on a daily basis. But if you are injured, you need to be prepared. Steenberg Law Firm focuses primarily on workers' compensation cases, serving all of Western New York. Joining us today for the first time on Western New York Living is Jeffrey Steenberg from Steenberg Law Firm. Thanks so much for being here. All right, let's start, Jeffrey, with exactly what is workman's compensation or workers' compensation?
Well, workers' compensation is really a type of insurance that most employers are required to carry. For instance, if somebody is injured at work, an employee is injured at work, their sole remedy or course of action is to file a workers' comp claim. What some people don't realize or maybe not know is that when it is a work injury, your private insurance isn't going to want to pay for any treatment. So it's imperative that everything goes under the workers' comp case.
And what type of injuries would be covered by workman's comp, or it's workers' compensation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Well, you have your typical one-time accidents that happen at work, unfortunately, but you also have injuries or conditions that could develop gradually over time at work. Sometimes that is in repetitive type movements that happen at work. If you work at a computer all day, an example would be maybe carpal tunnel syndrome. Or maybe a respiratory illness could develop from exposure to chemicals at work over a period of time.
What are the benefits that are available under workers' compensation?
There's really two primary types of benefits. That would be medical coverage as it relates to treatment for that work injury, and also monetary benefits for lost time from work. You could also get monetary benefits if you return to work after your injury, but maybe you make less money now because of work restrictions or an ongoing disability related to that injury.
So walk me through it, because there's a lot happening kind of all at once. You're at work, you get injured. What happens next? What should somebody do?
Well, if you get hurt at work, really the first thing you want to do is notify your employer, that being a supervisor or a boss, and let them know what happened and what the injury is. Next, you want to make sure you get medical treatment from a doctor as soon as possible. That's important not only for the sake of getting treatment, but you want to have a doctor stating in a medical report and have it in writing how the injury occurred and that it happened at work.
Okay. Sometimes when I see the forms, if you're going for an x-ray or something like that, there's a whole section that says, you know, were you injured at work, and describe that. Is that important to really fill out that entire form? It is.
It is. Any documentation that you fill out that asks whether it's a work injury, it's imperative that you state that it is and fill out any questions that have to do with that work injury.
Okay, and then is there anything else that I'm forgetting that we need to know about?
Well, perhaps the most important thing to do is to file a workers' comp claim as soon as possible.
Is that with your employer?
Not necessarily. Your employer is supposed to submit paperwork after an injury at work, but you also want to take the initiative yourself to file a workers' comp claim if you are injured at work. And you could do that by visiting the Workers' Comp Board website. You could call the New York State Workers' Comp Board, or you could call my office, and we'd be more than happy to go through that process with you.
I was just going to say, could you just make it really easy? Can everyone just call you instead? Is that okay?
I would love that.
It's amazing how many injuries happen at work, and somebody shouldn't have to suffer if it's actually happened at work.
Yeah, injuries do happen, unfortunately, and many times people don't even realize the steps they need to take when you get hurt at work, and they miss out on compensation they could be entitled to.
And I know what you do is a very particular type of law, so I'm glad you came on to inform our viewers. Thanks for being here for the first time.
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait for the second. Steenberg Law Firm, your choice for workers' compensation and work-related injury representation. They also handle personal injury and Social Security disability cases as well. Steenberg Law is centrally located, Buffalo, 2437 Berg Road. Visit them online at steenberglaw.com, or you can give them a call at 558-2000. And now it's time for the Hillside Family of Agencies Tip of the Week. Ready to break away from perfectionism? Tackle the problem as a family. Start with a commitment to take care of yourselves and each other. Small things such as eating dinner together and getting some exercise every day are a great start. If you feel yourself sliding back into the perfectionism trap, promise each other to do better, not perfectly, tomorrow. Learn more about the consequences of perfectionism on the Hillside website at hillside.com. Coming up next, if you're constantly fighting the battle with stubborn fat, Buffalo Laser Spa and Cheryl's Hair Removal Center can help. We're going to check out their newest Gentle Slim Fat Removal Laser and the Palomar Vectus Hair Removal Laser that they have. We're going to tell you about a great offer on both procedures. Also, Williamsville's Tennyson Court Assisted Living and Memory Care is just finishing the conversion of their Hampton house from an assisted living household to a memory care unit. We'll tell you all about it when Western New York Living continues.
This segment of Western New York Living was paid for by Steenberg Law Firm.